Now we're going to talk about putting a new line onto your fishing reel. When the line comes, we've already started this, but when the line comes, it comes coiled on a spool like this. And you'll notice on the spool, the way it's unwinding from the bottom of the spool and the loop is forming to the bottom. You don't want to coil this up and have it twist. You want to keep that in this direction and you wind it onto the reel in the same direction. That prevents twisting and turning of the line. So again, when it comes off this spool, you'll notice how it lays down nice and smooth. If this was all twisted, it would be coiled, and if you put a coiled line onto your reel, it's going to cast very difficultly, and it's going to retain some memory, which is unfavorable to your fishing. When you receive your new line to put on your reel, there's an end that goes to your backing on the reel, which is a very thin line that is used to extend the length of the fly line itself if you get into a fish that's going to run the line out that far. Pay close attention to attaching that end to your backing. Many of the backings or running line options that are on the reels now have a large hand loop on them where you can pass this whole spool through it and then drop it off and coil it on. Or you can take, when you go to fasten this line on, again, you have to be sure that you fasten the tag in that says to the reel, because the line will not cast if you take the opposite end of the fly line on this spool. The fly line on the spool, the end that goes to the fly, normally is buried underneath, like so. It's not going to be out on top, where it's going to be easily accessible to be put on your reel. So you can see as I'm putting it on, this is, of course, is done a little bit slower than normal. It's going to go out, lay on that rod on the reel perfectly, and there's no loops. So when this line comes off this reel, it comes off straight. That's how you want it to come off. And when it goes back on, there's no twists. It goes on nice and smooth. That's the way you'd put a line onto a fly reel. Now that you've successfully attached the fly line to the reel, now it's time to string the rod. We've changed back over to the rod that I've been using. Pinch over the fly line. You don't need to pinch it tight, just pinch it to get a loop. The loop will come undone, it'll be soft. The reasoning for that is, as you go through each guide, and if you were to let it drop for a second, you'll notice how the loop in this fly line catches so it doesn't drop all the way back to the reel where you have to start all over again. So now I'm going to continue all the way through the snake guides. With a longer rod, I'm going to just move the rod a little bit back further. Notice I'll try to slip my fingers in a V, have the line underneath, kind of lines up, goes right in. Then you draw through your leader, a little bit more fly line. That's how you'd string up a fly line onto the rod. And you're ready to attach a fly to the pre-applied leader and fish.